This is Kreskin. I have a rare treat for you. In fact, it's damn delectable. If it doesn't touch your taste buds, I don't know what else could. But I'm reviewing a book. The name of the book is A Fork on the Road. And talk about a visual picturesqueness when he brings that up. The gentleman, whose name is Mark DeCarlo, is a very, very popular voiceover for the series Hugh Neutron. He's an actor and he's a comedian. And by the way, at the same time, can I tell you, he's a brilliant, brilliant author who took his passion for food and cooking and taste around the United States and other parts of the world. It's a book you're not going to be able to put down, but I'm going to tell you some of the excerpts from it. For no matter the dish on the thing is always true. The food, the taste, the texture, and the nutrition value is always less interesting than the people preparing it. That's a very intriguing remark because the person who prepared this book is a fascinating personality, has a tremendous knowledge of food, a great taste for it, and made this into kind of an adventure. The history is written by people who live long enough to tell their friends about it. And of course, parts of history have been lost for good because the people didn't live long enough to tell you the whole story. People live and died pretty much from where they were from years ago. They didn't travel widely. If they did, they didn't go out of their way. They went by horseback and what have you. And it was an arduous but acceptable experience. And they're born because now many of those flavors are all gone. My goal was to taste American food, share what discovered as honestly and harmoniously as possible. That's what he specifically wanted to do. To have a comfortable flight, the author advises, and this is intriguing, because I've flown a bit. In 87 years, I've flown over 3.5 million miles. You heard me in case there was a misinterpretation, 3.5 million miles. So when he has some advice to give to a potential flyer, I found this intriguing. I'm not going to say what I agree with, but you'll have a grin that will come over your face. The author advises never to make contact with the people that you're traveling with unless you know them personally. This implies people are welcome to sit next to you, and as we've learned, they are not you. You have to learn to cough and to sneeze and to see visions of deceased relatives, whatever you feel comfortable with. And what you are after, well, whether they believe you are acting or not, they know that you are just crazy, and keep them moving down the line so that they can run or ruin someone else's time in flight. Kind of negative, but that's the person who would rather not be bothered by outside activity. I love to refresh myself by glancing at the book with the pictures and the signs of places that he's visited that have advertised food and what have you. It's 200 pages. You really can't put down. No wonder why people down here in this muggy paradise love these pies. And I'm kind of paraphrasing and quoting what he's talked about because he's mentioned certain kinds of pies. It was like putting an air conditioner in your mouth. It's quite a description. I never thought of describing a pie in that way. Homemade ravioli, and he mentions that, made old men weep, and her pork neck bones guaranteed perfect attendance at Sunday dinners, where her Italian bread soaked up more sauce than an Irish wake. And that's some quantity of sauce, is it not? I've never estimated what I've been able to gather up at an Irish wake. Vampires achieve immortality by drinking blood. Rich guys do it with trophy wives. Trophy wives is another methodology and source. To continue with the fork on the road, there are two kinds of Italian restaurants, as I repeat and reflect on what he has stated in his writing. Two kinds of Italian restaurants in America. The establishment with linen napkins, long wine lists to be patronized when impressing a date or client, and joints that formerly harbored Rat Pack wannabes, their exotic dancers, consorts, alongside members of law enforcement. Quite a contrast in the quality and the source of this food. He mentions that he didn't use guidebooks too obviously or GPSs to or invent, yet just curiosity and the desire to assess the greatest collection of stolen motel towels in your army of people that you knew. He reflects in concluding that we talked liberty, democracy, and the freedom while the sun set majestically behind the puzzle. Mountains, all we needed was Ray Charles and his fabulous raylets. We're a country where the patriots don't all wear the same hats. And boy, I'll tell you, in this book, talk about an array of hats. It goes on and on and on. And your appetite will increase, but so will your taste to pursue it even further. Take care. To be continued.